Hey guys, today is February 8th, 2018, and I'm sitting outside in the yard just observing, and I've been having a lot of things come up recently, emotionally, and so, a lizard just jumped off the tree. I wanted to talk for a little bit. So, I want to talk a little bit about things in our life that we choose to hold on to for whatever reason, and how difficult it can be to let go. And I'm sure everyone has been through this at least once in their life. If not, well, you skated by. Hopefully you don't have to go down that road. But it's a good learning experience if you do. And a lot of times in life we hold on to things, whether it's a job or a relationship or a career or a friendship or something, because we cannot see ourselves outside of not having that. And I can say from personal experience, considering that I'm going through some of those changes currently in my own life personally, that it's important to be reminded that your happiness is important and that you are responsible for that, not someone else, not something else. You. A lot of times there are things in our lives which give us huge responsibilities to ourselves and to other people, and it's very hard for us to turn our backs on things because we are concerned about the other person or the other thing, and we don't want people to feel like we don't care. However, loving others only comes as naturally as if you're loving yourself. So if there's things that you're doing in your life that don't make you happy, you're not showing yourself love. And that's a tough pill to swallow, because nobody thinks that they're mistreating themselves. And until we realize and recognize and speak that out, it's really easy to play the role of a victim. Well, these things are happening to me and I can't fix it, and I've tried all these things. I've been saying all of these things for the last few years at least. I've heard the words come out of my mouth. I've listened to my conversations with my friends, and yeah, the whole time I've been feeling it, and yet I can't let it go. And then I have to ask myself, why am I holding on to all this? Why am I holding on to all this pain? Why am I holding on to all these things that are out of my control that I can't change? Why am I not working on the things that I can? Why am I not looking deep down inside of who I am and acknowledging this woman that I am? This soul, this being who's here on this planet. I have so much work to do here, a lot of which has already been accomplished in many interesting ways that I could never have thought of. But there's a deep, deep, desirable level to finish some very heartfelt work in my life, and I'm feeling held back. And I don't want to blame it on any person or thing or circumstance, because I am in control of my life and my destiny. It's me. And you are in control of yours. It's really simple. We just make it complicated because we have emotions and we feel things for people or things or places or circumstances. Okay? But we can't ignore what's going on in our world, and we can't act like those things don't matter to us. You can say it, but you still feel those things because they're there, and we're all a part of the whole. So, unfortunately for me, there are some things that I have to let go of. Some relationships, some thought patterns, some habits in my life that are not good for me. It's hard. And I've only just started opening up about this to the people that I'm close with because I think it was easier to keep it within myself because I didn't have to face it, and the truth is that I do. And it's nothing like over dramatic or anything. It's sometimes your past can come back to haunt you and remind you of things. If you don't change the way you think and the way you act, then you can't expect the other things in your life to change too, you know? And yeah, I don't know why I'm sharing this. Like, I don't really want to sit here on camera crying, but this is like an outpouring of like what's going on within me. And I feel like it would be a waste of energy to not share it with somebody because I know there's somebody out there that needs it too. And look, the sun's coming out. So, if you're in love with someone, or maybe not in love with someone, but you're still with them because you care about them and you love them, it's up to you to decide whether you want to stay in that relationship or whether you want to move on. It does not change your level of love for that person. It just means that you have worked through whatever you guys need to work through, and that's done. And it's up to you to move forward. And this is really hard to do, especially if you are in love with someone but you can't move on, or you feel like you can't. Or you do love them greatly, but you're not in love with them. Or a friend who you've had for a long time that you love dearly, but you grow apart and you don't really have a connection anymore. I mean, this represents itself into so many different aspects of our lives. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. You can love a lot of people in your life. You don't have to save all your love for one person. But most importantly, you do need to love yourself. Like, I totally don't claim to know all the answers. In fact, I do know a lot of things, but a lot of times it's hard to apply that information in life because it holds you accountable, not just to yourself, but to other people. How accountable do you want to be to yourself? How accountable do you want to hold others to their word? If you're not doing it yourself, how can you expect the same of them? See, I do see the world shifting and changing very much, but I also see a new paradigm way of thinking, and it's not because of any one particular person or thing that's making it happen. It's as a whole, it's happening. Okay. And when you are in a process of learning and acknowledging this, a lot of times you do have to cut out things in your life that you hold dear, that are special to you. But it's because it's not really serving a purpose in your life the way that it used to, because you've changed. You've grown. You're still that person, but you're not the same, if that makes any sense. And it becomes too hard of a struggle to try to keep something alive that you know is not meant to survive. It is. And I have to keep moving because the sun is so bright, it's like hurting my eyes. We all owe it to ourselves to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And sometimes other people and places and things can bring out the worst in us, or at least not our very best. Maybe that's unintentional for them to do that to us, but it is. When the energy does not vibe and it doesn't feel right, there's a reason for that. Okay? I'm telling this to myself. Everything I'm saying right now in this video is for me, but I'm saying it out loud so I can share it. Everybody talks to themselves in their heads. We all know we have our higher selves. We have that part of us that knows us better than anyone else. And mine has been talking to me so much that, like, I cannot ignore it. And I haven't been ignoring it. I've been listening, but it hasn't been the most pleasant information coming through, but it's what I needed to hear. So, with that, I will just say that We all need to make our lists right now, pros and cons of what's going on in our lives that we're happy with and what we're not. And we have to go about systematically changing those things which are not fruitful in the path that we are walking in currently in this lifetime. Because that's going to evolve and change over time, all the time. Like, I'm 38 years old, but in 20 years from now, I'll be 58. My kid will have graduated high school. I may or may not even be a grandmother. Like, everything's going to be so different. I'd like to look back on this experience as like a time capsule of like where I came from and where I'm going. And celestially, with all of the things happening in the heavens, my hair is so crazy right now. It's important to be mindful of what's going on with energies. And if you're just an autopilot all the time, just go, 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 and not really looking at what's happening around you, you're going to suffer because of that in one way or another. Maybe not physically, maybe not emotionally, but something will change, and it'll keep changing until you figure it out. So take stock in your life and where you're happy and where you're not. Let's go about making some changes. I hope you all have a beautiful week. Mahalo. Mwah.